God, dude, I don't know why. I like post one Avowed thing, and then I get all these people who are just shitting on the game, and I really don't understand it. I really don't. And I'm sitting here. One chick said there's no consequence. Like if you stand in a fire in town, you don't get burned. Okay, whatever, fine. You don't get burned by a fire. But every time you go into combat, you're gonna die. Or seemingly so. I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe I suck at the game. Maybe that's what it is. But it makes it more enjoyable. Yeah, people put on easier story mode and get mad about it. Yeah, it's definitely challenging. Like, I need to just make a video where I launch Skyrim, no mods, nothing. I go in and I just show the gameplay. We'll break it down. Like, if you've played Skyrim, no mods, mind you, because that's not the game and the developers didn't make that game. Right. But like, that's the point of choosing a difficulty, right? That's why I'm kind of starting to go into the camp of just make a difficulty and that's it and how it's intended, because some people will make it too easy for themselves and find it boring, or some people make it too hard for themselves and quit. I'm not a huge fan of Skyrim with mods. I do on the base normal game, and like, it's nice. It's mostly just quality of life stuff. But if I have to mod my game with 100 mods to even make it like functional, like, let's be honest here. If you even make Skyrim faster than, I believe with the newest edition, the anniversary edition, if you make it over 60 frames per second, you have the entire universe turn into a tornado. And as soon as you launch the game onto the cart with the with Ulfric and everything, it turns into a tornado because the engine is tied to the frame rate, which is ridiculous. Yes, like stuff like adding trees and stuff to cities and detailed skies, like quality of life or aesthetic stuff, I don't really have a problem with. But like, I accept the game for what it is. It is that, and that's what we had for a while, but I'm not going to pretend that that's the greatest RPG. I think Skyrim really shines in the lore of it. I think the build pathways are exceptional. I like how you progress through the game, but it's very video gamey, right? Like, you can really, it's like very min-maxy. Like, if you like crunching numbers and figuring out how to like exploit mechanics of the game, then you're going to have a very, very good time with Skyrim. And it still is one of the better games for that, as well as Fallout. Fallout's another one that you can do that with, more so New Vegas and previous. But if I take a video of Skyrim and I show the combat versus this game's combat, where like you have stun mechanics, combos, you can dual wield anything pretty much. The spells itself, the spells alone already blow Skyrim out of the water, because everything in Skyrim is just a reskinned and repurposed projectile or beam, and they don't really seem to do much, and healing spells don't really matter either. Like, very rarely are you going to actually use it to heal companions. They don't seem to do much. And companions block doors. This one you can have 2 companions. They're super cool. They have cool abilities that you get on your ability bar, and you get to do pretty much whatever you want in terms of freedom of weapon choice and everything. And on top of that, the combat of this game is fucking incredible compared to Skyrim. Like we have to be honest. I get it. I like Skyrim. I think Skyrim's a fun game. Even Oblivion. Oblivion was one of my first, like, AAA-esque RPGs. And, it's just, like, I'm gonna be honest, like, it's just more enjoyable to have flashy animations and cool spells and have the option to build however I want. And you kind of have that option in both games, and this game does it a bit better. But I just can't believe someone would argue that, like, objectively, like I said, just the engine alone, like, I can run this at 240 FPS and not turn it into a tornado. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are being dishonest with themselves, and they're not taking an objective stance on the actuality of what the game is, and it's just unwarranted hate. Now, if I launched the game and it was like Cyberpunk on launch, like, I'd get it. Like, the game's unplayable. Like, I literally couldn't progress in Cyberpunk. That's something to complain about. When the bugs are preventing you from playing the game, that's a problem. But I don't know. I feel like standing in a fire inside a city, which is basically a safe zone, isn't really that high on my problem list when I play a game. The moment-to-moment gameplay is significantly better. Like, I mean, even Morrowind, like, that's a really old game, but, like, Morrowind and Skyrim combat is pretty similar. Like, you're just standing there spamming your swings, and it rolled, at least in Morrowind, it rolled a dice, so it was, like, even more random. But, like, if I play Skyrim and I go, like, okay, you can block sometimes, but other than that, you're just spamming left-click, and you're swiping at the guy, and their health bar will go down. And then when you raise the difficulty of Skyrim, the only thing that happens is their health bar gets bigger. And then maybe they do a little more damage or you do less damage. I forget how that exactly works. But it's so boring. I put it on Legendary for a challenge run on stream once. And I was like, this is so goddamn boring. Like, I do not want to play Legendary difficulty on Skyrim or even Fallout ever again. Because it's just spongy. It doesn't feel good. But this, I'm on normal difficulty. And the fucking Zorips are going to rip my asshole open and goatsy me every 2 seconds. I'm like even in combat, and I have to like worry that my health bar, or I have like a supply of health potions, and I'm going to survive the next encounter. Or you accidentally find a boss, and the boss is just clobbering you like that big ogre guy. Like, I just don't get it. Yeah, the screenshots is beautiful. I remember I was hyped with this game when I first saw the announcements and I saw the bow. And just how clean the bow was and how they were doing the combat in this game and showing that it was going to be Obsidian's sort of answer to a Skyrim type game because they already did Outer Worlds, which I like too. I want to revisit that at some point. But I mean, it already looked good like years ago, and now that it's here, I'm like thoroughly impressed. And I played this after Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which everyone says was like significantly better, which, I mean, they're both good. They can both exist, and they can be they can be good for different reasons. I just don't get it. Anyway, enough griping. I don't want to be the guy who complains about games on stream, like one of those people, but I don't know. That shit bothers me as a hill I'm gonna die on, and people say that they don't like video games anymore, and they're not enjoying games, but I think that's totally on them. I think they're not honest with what they like. If they like our open world RPGs, they like exploring, they like sort of intensive combat or fantastical stuff, then there's really no reason to hate on a game like this. I don't know. I think they're I think they're like playing how, or buying games like I would do previously. Like, now I'm pretty good about it and I just don't care. Like, I was in the mindset of, I'm going to buy this game, I'm going to make content of it, and I can spin it this way and put on an act into a way that I'm going to make it entertaining. But that's exhausting and expensive. So now I'm just playing what I like. But I think everyone else sort of got wrapped up in it because there's lots of streamers who are also pushing and peddling the same mindset. And like, they're the biggest things in gaming right now too, and then everyone buys those same games that the streamers are buying, and then they're disappointed when they're not enjoying it like they saw the streamer or pretend to or actually did, and it's not something that they actually enjoy, like an open world exploration, and they're disappointed it's not Call of Duty, if that makes sense. But anyway, okay, enough of that. I don't want to gripe all stream. Okay.